Good morning, Unity community. I'm your host, Randy Purcell, and it's our pleasure to welcome you to today's gathering. We warmly welcome all people, all faiths, and all lifestyles. Today we stand upon the unceded ancestral lands of the Musqueam Nation, noble guardians of these lands since time immemorial. It's here that we gather to learn, grow, and celebrate our oneness with Spirit. If you're joining us via Zoom or YouTube, welcome to you too. Glad to have you. So, our mission here at Unity of Vancouver is simple: to build personal and community well-being through universal spiritual teachings and practices. So, let's get into it. We're going to begin with our One Power affirmation. All together now, there is one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And now please rise and join us in breathing and singing this morning's group song, Spirit of the Living God.
Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me and use me. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. God, move among us all. Spirit of the living God, move among us all. Humble, caring, selfless, sharing. Spirit of the living God, fill our lives with love. Okay, I'm going to invite you to really dig in there. You're a spring flower, and you just burst through, and you're just so happy. You're just gonna lean into it. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Sounds good. Spirit of the living God, fall afresh on me. Melt me, mold me, fill me, and use me. God, fall afresh on me. That feels good. Spirit of the living God, move among us all. Spirit of the living God, move among us all. Humble, caring, selfless, sharing. Spirit of the living God, fill our lives with love. Fill our lives with love. Fall afresh on me.
Thank you, Leora and Jay. Today's daily word is actually two words, but they're two very good words. Inner peace. Who'd like more inner peace? Can I see your hands? Yeah. Secure in the presence of God, I am peaceful and strong. I find comfort in knowing I am never alone, because God is always with me and within me. Whatever I am called to face, I have inner resources to handle it peacefully. Peace dwells in the silence of my soul. When I feel troubled, I turn within. I breathe deeply and picture a peaceful setting. A trickling stream, the wind gently rustling the leaves, or the soft flicker of candlelight. I let tranquility sink deep into my heart. As I leave the quietness of prayer, I take peace with me. I am ready to face the day. As a peaceful person, I know that peace is my very nature. Harmony is my purpose and my goal. I seek serene people, places, and experiences. My soul feels at home everywhere as the peace of my heart flows outward to bless everyone it touches. Our guest speaker today is Reverend Hannelore, and she will reveal how nature communicates, heals, and guides us. Now, let's warmly open ourselves to receive what we need most from her message with 5 powerful affirmations. All together now. I am held, supported, and guided by the intelligence of life itself. I am not separate from life. I am part of its living expression. Nature reflects the truth of who I am. The same divine intelligence that moves through nature lives within me. I am rooted in love, grounded in truth, and alive in spirit. Thank you, and so it is. And now please rise and join us in singing our new English translation of the Aramaic version of the Lord's Prayer.
Holy Spirit, creator of life and all, you create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Our oneness now prevails. Your one desire flows through ours as energy fills all forms. You give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment. You untangle the knots of air that bind us as we also release each other. We don't let appearances make us forgetful of our source. We're born free to act from our highest nature. From your presence comes the glorious harmonies of life. Now these words are fertile ground from which our future grows. Amen.
Please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Reverend Hannelore. Hannelore is a gifted storyteller and a multiple book published author. She is a wonderful storyteller. Her passion lies in sharing true life stories woven with intuitive wisdom and spiritual insight. Her modern-day parables offer a fresh perspective on healing, hope, and the miracles present in our daily lives. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Hannelore.
Good morning. It's so great to be back here again today. And I'm going to take you into a meditation, and this will be a meditation where you will be entering the field of divine nature and divine oneness. So I invite you to close your eyes. And simply arrive. Simply be. Imagine that you are gently being welcomed into a place, but into a living presence. As you find yourself standing on the edge of a forest, not observing it, but entering into it. There is a quiet awareness here, as though the forest is aware of you. So as you take your first step in, something subtle shifts. You are no longer a visitor. You are a part of what is here. The trees stand tall around you, ancient, steady, and they're rooted. And without words, you sense their presence. It's not separate from you, but quietly acknowledging you. You continue walking, and you begin to feel the ground beneath your feet, alive, supportive, as though the earth itself is holding you. And now imagine that beneath the surface, there is a vital, vast network of life. It connects everything: roots, fungi, unseen pathways, all sharing, communicating, and sustaining. There is a quiet intelligence moving through it. It's moving through all of it and us. For this living presence, this intelligence, is what many would refer to as the divine. It's not separate. It's not distant, but expressing itself in all of life. And you are standing within it, not outside, within. You're not observing it, but you are within the very presence of the divine made visible. And now something even more subtle begins to happen. The boundary between you and the forest begins to soften. For the air you breathe has been breathed by the trees. The life within you is the same life moving through all things. And for a moment, you no longer feel like someone in nature. You feel like life itself, aware, present, the divine expressing as you. There's nothing to reach for, nothing to become, only this quiet remembering. You are not separate from the divine. You have always been part of this living, sacred whole. And in this awareness, there is peace. A gentle wisdom that asks nothing of you, only that you listen. And perhaps just for a moment, you sense that the divine has always been speaking through the wind, through the water, and the stillness, and through you. And now, gently, without leaving this awareness, begin to return, carrying this knowing within you. Take a deep breath. For communing with nature is not separate from communing with the divine. It is simply remembering that we have always been one. So be it.
A purple sky to close the day. I wade the surf where dolphins play. The taste of salt, the dance of waves, and my soul wells up with hallelujahs. A lightning flash, my pounding heart, a preaching wail, a shooting star, gives testimony that you are. And my soul wells up with hallelujahs. Oh, praise now all these mighty works. There is no language where you can't be heard. Your song goes out to all the earth. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, cratered moon and sparrows' wings, oh, thunder's boom and Saturn's rings, unveil the Creator as we sing. And my soul wells up with hallelujahs. Oh, praise now all these mighty words. There is no language where you can't be heard. Your song goes out to all the earth. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. balls of life within my wrist are falling snow, our rising mist. There is no higher praise than this, and my soul wells up. Yes, my soul wells up. Oh, my soul wells up with hallelujahs. Oh, praise now all these mighty words. There is no language where you can't be heard. Your song echoes out to all the earth. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
Wow, thank you, Lenora. Beautiful. Thank you, Jay. Very touching. I was very blessed to, as a small child, growing up in a very small community. The only way in was by a seaplane or by boat. We were surrounded by forests and the ocean, and it was incredible. And I spent my days playing in the forest and imagining that I could slowly track and walk without making any sound. And I loved the trees. They were like my standing people. And just imagining that I could communicate with the animals. The thing about what my kids, when I say my grandkids say the olden days, well, in the olden days, when I was growing up, we all played outside every day. First thing in the morning, we'd go out and play. All the kids would meet each other, and we'd just play. And then until the mothers came out on the front porches and started calling our names to come home for dinner. And sadly, that rarely happens these days. So it's so important to be a part of that again. I don't know about you, but when I've experienced something that's just so majestic, like an incredible sunset, or when I've hiked up to the top of mountains at times and just seeing this majestic view, I've always wanted to share that with someone. Like, can you see this? Isn't this incredible? And so as the years passed, I actually created what I called a Vision Quest retreat. And it was held in a very remote area, and the last trek of our journey was a good hour boat ride that took us to a very isolated spot. It was a very small camp right against the ocean, but in the rainforest, surrounded with, there were bear, cougar, everything was there. And it was just this remarkable, beautiful place, totally off-grid, no phones worked there. And so one of the many things that I would have the group do is do these nature connect exercises. This one particular exercise was really very powerful, and I invite you to consider possibly doing this. So only bring a journal and a pen with you, and go somewhere in nature as far away from city noises as you can, somewhere where it's very isolated, and simply go for a slow walk and really take everything in. Notice everything, not just the grass, but every blade of grass. Not just the trees, but what the bark on the trees are like, the branches, the bushes, the moss. And wherever, just keep moving until you feel called to a particular something, a particular spot. And then sit there, take off your shoes, feel your feet on the ground, and simply be with that particular thing. Now, one of the participants, he was a bit nervous of this exercise because he did not consider himself a writer. So I suggested that when you get to that, whatever that is, become one with it. And then write as though you are that speaking. So this is a very little short piece. There was many beautiful writings that came out of this. And this was, his place was an old decayed stump that had ferns and moss growing on it. So this is what he wrote. I'm so small and fragile compared to nearly everything in this forest. I'm so glad this stump is here for me now to grow on. He keeps me off the forest floor. Now, I'm the lucky one who gets to blanket the old guy with my long, thin, fluffy, leafy branches. Actually, I also provide some protection for some other little creatures. Why, for example, you can't see it, but over there, on the south side, where sometimes the sun sneaks through the forest canopy, I have a family of ants. I love being a shelter for them. I'm so very grateful Mr. Stump allows me to live on him. What a delicious life. So have fun with that exercise should you decide to do it. In Job 12, 7-10, it states, ask the animals and they will teach you. Or the birds in the sky. Or speak to the earth and it will teach you. For in his hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind. Perhaps the question is not whether nature is speaking, but whether we have become still enough to listen. When I put this retreat together one particular year, I had done some work with a fellow by the name of Wayne. He had done my classes, and he registered for the retreat. He was very excited to go there. He unfortunately passed a week before we held that particular retreat. So when we were all in the camp and we were gathered in circle, I had placed a chair, and I invited Wayne and his energy, should he wish to join us. So now we were all busy doing different exercises, and I had people writing in their journal. So as they were writing in their journal, one particular time, I had a handful of seeds that that I was eating, and this little bird came out of nowhere and hopped right up onto my hand and started pecking at the seeds, climbed up on my shoulder, and then sat on my head. And it didn't leave there. Everywhere I went, I had this bird on my head. And then we'd go for a dinner break or something, and instead of flying with us, it would run alongside me. And I was worried someone was going to step on him. And then it started landing on other people's heads. And then it noticed that as they were writing, it would go up and it'd check out what it was writing. It was just so remarkable. And I asked the owner of the camp, I said, how long has that bird been here? He says, I don't know, I've never seen it before. I said, what kind of a bird is it? So he brought out one of these big books that had pictures and local birds, and we opened up this page, and there was this big picture of a thrush. And that's it, it's a thrush. And just then, the bird actually flew over on the edge of the book and looked down at it. So I even captured a picture of that. And so when it came time to leave, we had 2 boats. Everyone was already loaded. I did my one last walk around the camp. And as I was walking along the dock to the boat, I could hear click, 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 click as they're running alongside me. I felt really sad I had to take it off my head and put it on the dock and say, you have to stay here, you can't come with us. And we left as a boat. We were sad to say goodbye to our new little friend. And a couple of months later, I called the owner of the camp and I said, is that little bird still there? I haven't seen it since you left. So perhaps Wayne was with us after all. It was very magical. So as I did a lot of research on nature, and there's so much. How can you put that all into a little talk? I actually have a whole second talk in harmony with nature that I can do next time. But the largest living organism on Earth, it's not a whale, it's not a giant tree, but it's a single underground network of fungi. I don't know if anyone has ever seen The Fantastic Fungi. It's a documentary. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. I really recommend watching that. But beneath the forest floor, there's a whole hidden intelligence. It's a vast living network of microcyzal fungi. And it links all the tree roots, connects all the trees and plants in what's called the wood wide web. And these delicate threads weave through everything, and it's intricate, and it's a communication system through which all the trees communicate with each other. So, for example, if a tree is being attacked by an insect or something that's coming through, it can communicate that to the other trees that can begin to prepare a defense mechanism for it. You have the mother trees that protect and look after its young. It's really quite remarkable. There's another documentary which is also really incredible, The Hidden Life of Trees. And it's what we realize that the forest, it's not a collection of separate trees. Rather, it's a community in constant relationship, kind of like here we are, and we can also be a part of that. So what science also is discovering today is that even when we go to touch a tree or stand in its energy field, that healing that it also knows how to send out, if we're going through different things, it actually helps us. It helps lower blood pressure. It helps reduce stress. So it's a beautiful thing to do when you do. You don't have to hug it if you don't want to, but even just being in the presence or have your hand on its bark. So the forest doesn't compete. It cooperates. The remarkable thing is that it all communicates as a whole. It's an expression of quiet intelligence, balance, and unity that's woven into the fabric of life itself. Kind of like reminds me of several of the unity principles. Nature doesn't just survive, it collaborates. Years ago, I read a book called The Secret Life of Plants. Has anyone here ever come across that book? Amazing. It's quite a number of years ago. And in that book, one of the things that they had written about was an experiment that they tried where they had a room filled with all these beautiful, healthy plants. And then they had all these electrodes with the graphs connected to them. And they would see what it would do and if it would respond to human energy. And it can be feelings of joy, or it can be feelings of anger or harshness. And so what happened is they had someone walk into the room, and all the graphs, everything was quiet. And this person grabbed one of the plants, pulled it out by the roots, threw it on the ground, and started stomping on it. And when that happened, all the needles on the charts moved. They completely went off the paper in reaction to that happening to the plant. When that person left, and for several days after, everything had gone back to normal and everything was fine. Then when that person walked back into the room, all the plants started to react just by that person entering their field. Just so remarkable. So with that in mind, I wanted to share a personal story, and that's of my fig tree. And my fig tree was a very healthy, very beautiful, very strong, happy 6-foot fig tree that I had in my office, which at that time I was in Gastown, overlooking the ocean. And we were in the film industry. And there was a casting session that was going on. And the director that was there he was well known for having people that were coming in to audition for a part. He would have them do unusual things to see if they would take direction. So they asked if they could move my fig tree into the casting room. I thought nothing of it. I thought, yeah, that's fine. So that's what they did. Out went my beautiful, healthy fig tree into the casting room. And as I walked past a couple of hours later, I glanced in, and there was my fig tree. Instead of standing like this, it was already drooping like this. And I thought, oh, what's happening? What's happening in there? By the end of the day, the branches were completely straight down, touching towards the earth. And I picked up the casting tape to see what was going on. And as I watched the casting tape, the director, nobody touched that plant. Nobody touched it. But throughout the day, the director had them yell at the tree saying, "You're ugly, you're stupid, you're just all these derogative things," and being angry at it. And just that alone, when I took that fig tree back into my office and I was giving it as much love as I could, but it died. And I was just blown away by something like that. Now, being an avid gardener, a lot of times people say, "Oh, you've got a green thumb." It's just that I happen to love the plants. and so I'm really enjoying that we're here now finally with spring. But what we have to remember is that the same intelligence that guides the forest, guides the tides, also beats your heart. So, have you ever noticed that nature doesn't rush anything? Trees don't compare themselves to other trees. It doesn't say, "Oh no, look at that oak. I'm only a pine. I need to grow faster." Or flowers don't wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I don't feel like blooming today. I need to work on myself." And yet everything in nature seems to work out just fine. Meanwhile, I had to laugh at myself knowing I put this in the talk as I struggled to figure out what I was going to wear today, and then trying to figure out my hair wasn't working just right, and okay, what piece of jewelry am I going to put on? And I remembered about this little piece, and I just thought, okay, just had to remind myself of that. So there are so many documented stories about animals sensing danger before we as humans do. Dogs alerting people to fires. Family cats sensing when we're medically distressed. Their purring is known to reduce high blood pressure. I can attest to that since I just brought a rescue kitty home from Hawaii. It's my Kona kitty. Really loud purr, and suddenly my blood pressure thing has dropped, so that was good. And there's a lot of incredible experiences of dolphins and whales helping people that are stranded in the ocean, keeping sharks away, and then helping swimmers back to shore. And I happen to be one of those swimmers. So when I created my Communing with Dolphins retreats some 25 years ago, as I was doing research, I connected with 2 people that were on the island, and there were 3 bays that the dolphins were known to come into. So prior to that, I would be on the beach, maybe go out for a swim for a few minutes, maybe half an hour, and I'll be back on shore. But swimming with dolphins in the wild, one tends to go out far deeper, and it's a remarkable experience. And so we swam in one bay. It was really incredible. We went to a second bay. It was wonderful. And then finally we went to this third bay. They happened to be a little bit further out. The waves were a little bit higher, but we still went in. And so off we went. we had this wonderful experience. They'd come around us, and we just had a glorious time. But I really felt full, and I decided I was going to head back to shore. And my friends decided they were going to stay. And so I just took my time. I was a good swimmer, took my time. And after a while, I paused, and then I looked at shore, and I didn't realize how far I was out. People were still like tiny ants on the shore. And here I was, by myself, way out in the ocean, and part of the food chain. And I just went, I couldn't see my friends. And I thought, oh my God, what a stupid thing to do. Oh, what if there's sharks? What if, and the fear, of course, I imagined all kinds of things as my fears started to escalate. And then I suddenly felt a calm. And when I looked to my left, there was a solitary dolphin. And it was almost like, don't worry, I'll stay here with you. And that dolphin stayed at my pace, guided me back to shore. And it wasn't until my feet touched the sand that it then swam around me and it went back out to sea. And that's when I knew how remarkable it was going to be for these people to be able to experience. The beautiful thing about being able to share different stories is that one day when I was sharing some of these incredible dolphin and whale stories, a native fellow had shared his story with me, and this is really a beautiful, remarkable story. He lives, I don't know if he is still living actually, on Vancouver Island. He was only 12 years old at the time, and he was fishing with his father. And they had an old fishing boat, had the little covered-in area, and they were pulling in all these fish, and they were sitting there cleaning the fish at the time. And his father says to the son, I just need to rest my eyes for a bit. I'm just going to take a little nap. So he leans against the cabin wall, and the boy continues cleaning the fish. And then the radio phone went off, which was up on the next level. You had to go to the top, and rather than go on a ladder, they had a thick rope rigged up with big knots in it. And so he grabbed on the rope and started to pull himself up, but his hands were all slimy from the fish. He fell off, and he fell overboard. Now the boat continued on, and he called out to his father for help, but he couldn't hear him because it was just the sound of the engine. So he started to feel quite frightened, and his mother, his grandmother that had passed, he prayed to have her help him, and he was really scared, and he prayed to the Creator, and suddenly he saw a fin, and the first thought was it was sharks. Sharks were coming at him. And then there was a couple of extra fins coming around him, and instinctively he grabbed a hold of the fin, and it surged him forward, put him right up alongside of the boat. There was a big rubber tire, took him right to the tire. He grabbed a hold of the tire, pulled himself back up on the boat, and looked out at the stern of the boat. He put his hands up in the air to thank the Creator and to thank the dolphins. There was a big pod of dolphins that they had come to rescue him. I was very privileged to have met him later and share the story with him. And when I did, he had tears in his eyes. He said, you know, it's the first time I've ever heard that story shared back to me. There's so many remarkable experiences. A friend of mine was on one of the 3 bays. It's a lava rock bay, and this was the smoother lava rock, so you could put your towels and sit on the sun. And it went into the bay in a couple of steps that take you into the water. And they were sitting there. They'd just been out swimming with the dolphins. The dolphins were there. And they were enjoying the sun, and they noticed these 2 dogs were running around. And they noticed that one of the dogs had a really bad limp and was favoring its hind leg. It was running on 3 legs, and it really was not looking very good. It looked like it had a back injury. And my friend, very much into loving animals, was very concerned and They watched it and were trying to think of what they could do to help this dog when they noticed that both the dogs were standing on the edge of one of the shelves of the lava, looking out into the ocean, and they both went into the water. And they swam toward the dolphins. And the dolphins came to them. And then all you could see was dolphins and dog heads swimming around together in a circle for a while. And this happened for maybe, 10 minutes, something like that. And she said, and then they watched the two dogs come back to shore, and they caught a wave just in time to get back onto the lava rock, shook themselves off, and the dog no longer had a limp. That's remarkable, and that's the divine nature in action. So nature doesn't just surround us, it does respond to us. My experience, personal experience, has shown me that whenever I've swum with the dolphins, it feels like playing with angels. I've also been blessed to have several close encounters this close to humpback whales, where I'd simply see a whale go by for a long time because they're very big. And my experience is that when I've been that close to whales, it feels that I have been in the presence of the divine. And that's where words are not necessary, but it's that whole embracing in one's heart. So from the trees that communicate beneath the earth, to the plants, they all respond to our energy. A beautiful story also in the house that I would rent in Hawaii. It's right on the edge of the bay, right where the ocean, right within, when you're sitting inside, it's like you're on a boat. It's that close. The ocean's right there. And it's a beautiful big bay, and the whales often come in to birth their calves. Did you know that dolphins often act as midwives to whales? They protect them from any shark encounters. And also, by swimming very fast around them, they help with the water vibration, help the whale in the process of birthing. So we've been so blessed to have whales come into the bay, and right beside the house, right where that wall is, there's a cluster of rocks, and a very dear friend and beautiful Hawaiian teacher and kahuna was sitting there playing her instrument. It's called the pu, P-U, and it's a bamboo instrument that is often used for calling people to awaken and to attention and simply calling out. And the whales often respond, and so do the dolphins. And there was a whale from as far away as you and I, so close to the shore, swimming in slow circles and simply being there, swimming, disappear, and then come back up. And Aka, my friend, who was sitting there watching, noticed there was a lot of people that had gathered around, and they started to go into the ocean to go and be near it. And she put her hands up and she said, "No, you don't go in there. There's a reason she's here. You stay there." And when she spoke, everyone just listened, and everyone sat and watched this for quite some time. And after a while, the whale disappeared under the water and was under the water for quite a while. And when it came up, it had its calf on its nose and brought it up for its first breath. How can you not have tears? Everyone was just like crying, watching this incredible experience. And Aka said, "I told you there was a reason." It's so remarkable. And then the following year, in the third bay, the one that the dolphins and the dogs had their experience, people were in the water swimming with the dolphins, and Aka was there with her instrument playing, and a whale appeared and swam right through where the people and the dolphins were playing, and everyone scrambling out of the way, and came as close to shore, popped its head up, had its eye connection to her, and she felt it was the whale that she had been with the previous year. So just remarkable. So for the dolphins and whales to meet in presence, to the stillness that we feel when in the wilderness, everything points to one truth, that we are not separate from the divine. We are not separate from life. We are part of a living, intelligent, and sacred whole. Isn't that remarkable? And when we begin to listen, not with the mind, but with the heart, we discover that nature is speaking to us all along. So I invite you into one final moment. So I want you to imagine, just for a moment, that the earth is aware of you. That the same presence that lives in the trees, the oceans, the whales, the wind, all the animals, is aware of you right now. Not as something separate, but as a part of itself. The earth breathing as you. Life expressing as you. And in this remembering, there is nothing you need to seek, nothing you need to become, because you were never separate. You only needed to remember. So may you walk gently upon this earth, knowing that you belong to it, and it belongs to you. So be it.
That was very beautiful. Thank you. I think we all want to go swimming with dolphins with you. So we've been sitting and we've been listening. So in this next song, I invite you to be free. If you feel like dancing, moving, looking at your friend, engaging with the energy that Reverend Hannelore and the wisdom that she brought. Yeah. Oh, we are da da do 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 you. Brother, brother, come walk with me. Show me the tops of the canyons above the sea and say, look around you, your kingdom's wide. Carry the weight of this world with pride. humble and I'm confused. There is no mountain I found here that I can move. And you say, sweet love, your heart is great. So will you follow it closely and let it show you your fate, and keep playing for love, playing for peace, playing for light, come down and set me free. Say, playing to say, playing for change, playing for peace. Keep playing for change, playing for peace, playing for light, come down and set me free. Playing to save, playing for change, playing for peace. Sister, sister, lay your burden down. Carry your heart wide open and hear the sound. It's all around you. Your kingdom's wide. So carry this weight of this world with pride. I am humbled and I'm confused. There is no mountain I found here that I can move. And you say, sweet love, your heart is great. Follow it closely and let it show you your fate. Keep playing for love, playing for peace, playing for light, come down and set me free. Playing to change, playing for love, playing for change. Keep playing for love, playing for change, playing for light, come down and set me free. Playing to say, playing for change, playing for peace. You wanna sing with me? Come playing for change, playing for peace, playing for light, come down and set me free. Playing to say, playing for change, playing for peace. We're playing for peace. Yeah, we are. We're playing for change. We are. We're playing for love. We are playing. We're playing for peace.
Okay, one more time for the angelic voice of Leora Cash and the virtuoso piano of Jay Krebs. And of course, a wonderful thank you to Hannelore. Such a wonderful reminder of walking in nature. It really reminded me, there was a study published. If you ever want to look something up on Google, it's look up forest bath, Japan. And they did a study and they found that one 1 hour walk in the forest elevates your immune system for 2 weeks. One hour walk in the forest. So obviously we're meant to be spending time in the forest. And in the city, we're all city dwellers, right? We can go a long time without being close to nature. And I think that's a mistake. And that was a fabulous reminder to do that. So thank you. Reverend Hannelore does have a number of books she's published. I believe is it 5 books? Or it's probably more.
I have 3 out.
She has 3 different books out front. So if you're interested in reading a little bit more, take a look at her books, and as well as some CDs. To donate online, simply click the donate link in your chat window. You can give via all major credit cards. Now, coming up right here at Unity, we still have tickets available for, and it's an amazing tie-in because we've got world-renowned botanist Diana Beresford Kroger coming. She will be doing a launch and a signing of her book. She is like known the world over. Leonardo DiCaprio was trying to get her to be in one of his movies, the one that happened during the pandemic with Jennifer Lawrence. I don't remember, Upside Down or whatever the heck it was called. But she is like famous and originally from the UK, but lives in Ontario. And she is like cataloging varieties of trees that people don't even know existed and finding, the medicinal components of those trees that are incredibly healing. She's just such an amazing woman. There is past talks by her on our YouTube channel, by the way. So if you'd like to get to know her, she is an amazing archive of Celtic wisdom and this forest and botanical sort of nature. Just an amazing woman. And you can buy tickets to her talk, which will be held here for $25 in advance or $35 at the door. So best to get them in advance. You can get the tickets on Eventbrite and just check our website for all the details. And as I say, you can look her up on YouTube. Also, Monique Lalonde will be here for a full-day art therapy expression experience on Saturday, April the 18th from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on the lower level. So if you like art or you've always wanted to spend a little bit more time doing that, that's another thing that's good for your soul. Come share a space to explore creativity as a pathway to self-discovery and healing through guided meditation and quiet, intuitive art making. You'll be invited to connect more deeply with yourself and express what lives within. No experience is needed. Tickets are $90 for the day, available on Eventbrite as well and at the front desk. Space is limited. Please bring water and lunch, that kind of thing. Our annual general meeting is for 26 is going to be held on Sunday, April the 26th at 1 p.m. on the lower level. If you're a registered member, of course, you'll be entitled to vote. And our Reflective Roundtables group is back this week and next. We will not be holding a roundtable on the 26th because we are hosting our AGM that afternoon. Now, the Reflective Roundtables are thoughtful, open, and structured conversations to explore the day's message. So you get together with a small group and you share insights and listen deeply to each other and talk about it. And I think all of the research on learning shows that when you talk about something and you share your thoughts on it and hear the thoughts of others, you like triple the sort of growth in consciousness that you get from that process or from hearing the talk. And of course, join our Course in Miracles group every Tuesday from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. Learn along like-hearted individuals as you expand your awareness. All are welcome, and your presence enriches the circle. We do have a mastermind prayer group that meets every Sunday before service at 10 a.m. downstairs in the meditation room. This group offers a powerful way to align your goals through the practice of shared unity prayer. Today's affirmative prayer chaplains are Shirley Thompson, Brian Law, and Jennifer Solly. Would you please stand? Yeah. And on Zoom, we have Marina Marcos. And so if you'd like to receive a confidential prayer, either here with one of our chaplains or online, our chaplains will be waiting for you in the front row after the music here. And just stay online after the service, and you'll be invited to partake in prayer with our online chaplain, Marina Marcos. Join us downstairs after the music for coffee and cookies, conversations, or take part in a reflective roundtable. If you're here for the first time, roundtables are a great way to meet a few people here at the center. I know when you're new at a place like this, it can be a little intimidating, like, how do I fit in? I don't know anybody. Come on downstairs, join in a roundtable, and I'm sure you'll make friends quickly. And next Sunday, we welcome Reverend Sandra Campbell with her talk, The Ties That Bind. And now, as we bring our gathering to a close, please stand and let us together say our prayer for protection. All together now. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And just remain standing for the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Yeah, you're welcome. If you are on Zoom and want to pray confidentially with a chaplain in a private room, please accept your breakout invitation. Thank you so much for joining us. See you all next week, and have a wonderful week. God bless.